Hi, I'm Antonio Centeno, the founder of Real Men Real Style, and today I'm going to be doing a product review of Leather Honey Leather Conditioner, and I'm going to share with you my story of why I think it's the best leather conditioner out there on the market. Okay, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. By doing that, these videos will come right to you. In addition, if you want to read more about Leather Honey, you want to learn more about what I'm talking about here, go ahead and click down below. I'm going to have an article which I'm going to link you to. And finally, if you like this video, if you find it useful, I would appreciate it if you would like it. Okay, so let me tell you a little story about a boot. And this was my favorite pair of Chelsea boots I picked up in London back in 2007 when I first started my company, A Tailored Suit. And they served me well for a couple years until I decided to wear them a lot here in Wisconsin. And Wisconsin has horrible weather in the winter. I mean, it has snow, but it also has sleet and rain and all that other stuff that you can't control. And it just tore up my boots because I did not condition them. And so that's what you're probably asking. Why do I need to condition my leather shoes? Well, leather, and it's not just shoes, by the way, but any type of leather is skin. And it's skin that is no longer replenishing itself. And if you think about it, I mean, the skin on your body has the oils and stuff that your body naturally secretes. Now, the leather that you use on briefcases, on your belts, on your shoes, when I was down in Austin, Texas, I didn't have to worry about it too much because the weather wasn't too bad. And leather shoes will last, probably a decade, and you don't even have to really treat them too much. Once you start exposing them, or you expose them to harsh weather, though, let's say you take a trip over to New York, you expose those things to water, which I did in my shoes. All of a sudden, they're going to lose that moisture very quickly when you dry them out, and they're going to start to crack unless you start to condition them. So the one thing, and why I think this is a great investment, I got 4 years out of those boots, and I paid probably $300 for them. And sadly, it wasn't, that's just I could have gotten probably 30 years out of those boots. And I want to make sure that you understand this and that you're using a product like Leather Honey, because you've probably got a lot of leather that you've spent a lot of money on. Leather is a luxury, clothing item. It's not cheap, especially, real leather we're talking about, not the cheap stuff, the fake stuff. And you want to make sure, and you can get decades and decades of life out of leather if you treat it correctly. So, what is Leather Honey and where did it come from? It was actually developed, I think it comes out of the 1968. You had a family business, and I think they're in West Virginia, and it was Dan McGowan, his father, I believe, actually was started it, and now Sean McGowan is the grandson of the gentleman that put this together. And he started off as Harness Honey, and it now has evolved into Leather Honey. They wanted to brand out because what they discovered is that, wow, this really, it's a step above. And I've got some other leather conditioners I've used in the past, such as Cadillac and Meltonian. These are fine leather conditioners, but they're all water-based. And being water-based, you have to put a lot of it on, and you have to put it on frequently, usually at least once a week. What I love about Leather Honey is it's oil-based, and therefore I only have to do it, maybe four times a winter season, so maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 weeks, versus I'm having to apply the other ones 4 times as much. So it makes it much easier. And, that was the first thing that drew me to Leather Honey. The other thing, again, is it's a small family-owned business on the East Coast, and these guys are really making it happen. You can go check them out on Amazon or go to their website and contact them, and you'll probably have Ariel. She's one of the family members as well, Sean's sister, and she will get in touch with you most likely and, help you understand, what this product is about. So, the proof is in the pudding, right? Okay. Well, Antonio, what are you using Leather Honey on? I've been using it on my $350 pair of Lucchese boots, and I can tell you that they feel great, and they've been okay in this Wisconsin winter so far. I've used them on my pair of Cheney dress shoes. These are a very nice pair of Cheney dress shoes that I picked up at the same time I picked up those other Chelsea boots over in London. I've used them on my saddleback leather briefcase. Boom, right here. I've used them on my belts, and everything I've shown you is brown leather, but you can use it on black leather. You can use it on any color leather. The only thing you don't want to use it on is suede. And so, what what would I say is the negative about this? Well, you need to be careful because it will darken anytime. I mean, they're reintroducing moisture to the leather. So this once living piece of tissue, they're actually re-moisturizing it. So it is going to darken, and be prepared for that. So test on a little bit. The other thing is it's a little bit pricier than the other ones I mentioned, but I feel this is not an issue. I mean, we're talking a few dollars for an item that you may have paid, $500 for, or, $700 for. And what's if you're sweating over, a few dollars for something like that, I really think you're saving pennies and you're losing the dollars there. So, finally, what can I say more about Leather Honey? I think it's a great product. I give it 2 thumbs up. I highly recommend you can get a small batch of it and test it. And, they got a 100% money back guarantee. So what have you got to lose? Okay, this has been Antonio Centeno with Real Men, Real Style. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.